Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're continuing again with chapter 21, Al-Anbiya or the Prophets. Yesterday we stopped at the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was mentioning some of the scientific miracles, some of the scientific miracles which give the authenticity. Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam was an illiterate. He had no idea about science. He had no idea, or even if he is making that book up, he won't even, somebody's trying to make something up, this book won't even last until this time. Which this time, or with the time we're living in, is proving the authenticity of that book. We mentioned yesterday that the Big Bang is there, the Big Bang theory. And also we mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, talked about the mountains. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks also about the function of the mountain and how they are and how they are rawasi, means they are pillars or pegs to give the earth stability. Number 3, we said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make also the heaven as a ceiling. The sky, the heaven, the 7 heavens as a ceiling to protect us from the harmful radiation of earth, of the harmful radiation coming from the sun, and protect us. And as we see, whenever like the chlorofluorocarbons, they have been prohibited because they can make a hole in the ozone layer, which actually will bring more harmful radiation from the sun. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking all of this in the Quran. So, and then it talks about the sun and the moon, and each one has an orbit. And this has been discovered basically recently, because everybody thought that the sun is stationary, but the sun actually it has an orbit around the Milky Way. So all of this giving us the complete evidence that this book, and there is also more of those scientific miracles scattered throughout the Holy Quran. Allah wants to tell you that this is not a man-made book. It's a heavenly inspired, heavenly book coming down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here, bringing us again to another scene where the non-believers, with the non-believers of our times right now, the non-believers of the Prophet Muhammad and his time will mock anybody's talking about God. Anybody's trying to tell them, oh, this is the Quran, is the last and final message, the authentic message, and they will mock him because they will say, oh, this guy is making fun of our gods. Like, for example, if you talk about Ram, or you're talking about the Hindu god, or you're talking about the Buddha god, or you're talking about Jesus, and you say all of those are not gods, but these are all false gods, some people get more adamant. Rather than take that claim and try to investigate it and try to think about it, no, they will try to mock the person. They will try to make it, they think, that this person is trying to mock them or things like that. Anyhow, so that's what the non-believers would say all the time, that look at this prophet, he is the one who is making mock of your gods. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that they are the one who are disbelieving in the real message, the true message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the message of the Islam, the message of the Quran, the message of Muhammad, peace be upon him. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala went to the next ayah. He said, خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ مِنْ عَجَلٍ. Indeed, the human being was made of rushing. You rush. You want things to happen so quick. So and that's just one of the things. There's no patience. Whenever the humans just have a calamity, something happens, somebody get a disease, somebody get his wife die, his son die, anything, he has no patience. Sometimes some people will become crazy. Some people will try to revenge from the society, try to revenge even from themselves. They go become alcoholic, they go do drugs, they go do anything, because they cannot handle anything, because they want everything happen so quick. If there is going to be a relief, they want that relief to be quick. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it's not going to happen that way, because He has a timing for everything. And that is what it is. So the non-believers, they say, oh, show us the signs, show us the punishment, show us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, relax, because you were made of a rush, you want to be rushing everything. It's my timetable, basically. It's not your timetable. خلق الإنسان من عجل سأريكم آياتي فلا تستعجلون. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I will show you my signs. I will show you my punishment. I will show you everything. My signs are going to come. So just really relax, and everything has its own timetable. ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين. Indeed, they're questioning the Prophet. They're also questioning at this time. They're questioning anybody who's calling for the sake of Allah. They will ask, oh, where is the punishment? We are the one who are superior. We're the one who don't believe in God, as creation, as the major power, and we are superior. We're on the top. We control the whole earth. We control the whole world. Where, what you're talking about? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, if you are truthful, that's what they're asking. Oh, show us the signs. أولم لو يعلم الذين كفروا حين لا يكفون عن وجوههم النار ولا عن ظهورهم ولا هم ينصرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this life is just a testing room. Life is only for Him to test people. It really is not a way where He can manifest his victory or His superiority. No, He's just testing the human being. He's going to send messengers. He's going to send people, or He's already sent them the Muhammad alayhi salam with the message of the Quran. But He will send other people to basically explain this message and calling people for Islam, and to explain to them the Islam. But people will reject. A lot of people will reject. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, this life really doesn't concern me that much. But what concerns me is when you will have an everlasting judgment, everlasting hellfire. You'll be in hellfire for everlasting time, for the rest of your, yes, when He comes back, when there is a judgment day, and He throw people in the hellfire forever. وَلَا هُمْ يُنْصَرُونَ. And indeed, when they're being thrown in the hellfire, they're not going to be victorious. The people who are here on this life, oh, we're on the top with this. We are the one who is able to control everything. We are the one who are able to control the world scene. We are the one who are able to kill people here, kill people there. We are the ones who are able to send weapons everywhere, and we have the biggest army all over. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, I will be able. I'm the one. Okay, maybe you'll have your round here, but at the end of the day, you'll be in the hellfire. And you're never going to be victorious. بل تأتيهم بغتة. And they will come to you suddenly. Any punishment. For example, when we see coronavirus, it's a punishment and a warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Come very quick. And very quick, and we saw the signs. New York City was full of trucks, have a lot of dead people, but people really, people didn't really pay heed and understood the message. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when the punishment comes, nobody can stop it. Nobody can, bring it back. But nobody can say, oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, stop it. Because once the judgment happens, even on this earth, before the day of judgment, it will happen. وَلَقَدْ اسْتُهْزِئَ بِرُسُلٍ. And again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing that mockery, that the people will keep making fun of His messengers, of the people who try to explain that message of the Quran. وَلَقَدْ اسْتُهْزِئَ بِرُسُلٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ فَحَاقَ بِالَّذِينَ سَخِرُوا مِنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. Indeed, that mockery or that making fun of this messenger will be will come back to those who are making that fun, and then they will be tortured in the hellfire. قُلْ مَنْ يَكْلَأَكُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ مِنَ الرَّحْمَنِ. Who is protecting you from the Lord of the heaven and earth at night and then day? Because we are just, remember, the earth is just really rotating in an orbit around the sun. The air is really the earth as a whole is in the air. So what can happen? A hurricane can happen, an earthquake can happen, a meteorite can hit the earth, a comet can hit the earth. Who can protect you from that other than God? That's what God is saying. بل هم عن ذكر ربهم معرضون. Indeed, but they become more adamant, more hard-headed when you keep reminding them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about God and only God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أم لهم آلهة تمنعهم من دوننا لا يستطيعون نصر أنفسهم ولا هم منا يصحبون. Indeed they were, oh, do they have other gods besides Allah? Do you think these gods will help them? Will bring them victory? Will protect them from anything? No. بل متعنا هؤلاء وآباءهم حتى طال عليهم العمر. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about those people who still don't want to believe in His message. And He said, we give them everything. We give them the money, we give them the sustenance, we give them the fruits, we give them the vegetables, we give them the cattle, we give them the milk, we give them the meat, we give them every luxury in life. And then they thought, oh, this luxuries or these givings were not gonna stop. They will stay forever. And that will make the person more rebellious, because once he see the money coming, once he see things are going good, you become, oh, I don't need God. Why I'm gonna need God? Things are happening. I have the good car, I have the Rolls Royce, I have a nice car, I have a nice house, I have a nice job. So that even make the person away. But the smart person, he'll understand that these things are not lasting forever. This is just temporary, because you're only going to live 60, 70, 80, 90 years. And then after that, well, you will vanish, you will go. أفلا يرون أن نأتي الأرض ننقصها من أطرافها أفهم الغالبون. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that even your influence is going to go little by little down. Your influence is going to decline. Your influence is going to be shrink. Your territories will be shrink. Don't you even think about that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, قل إنما أنذركم بالوحي ولا يسمع الصم الدعاء إذا ما ينذرون. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here that the Prophet Muhammad is saying that he has the revelation and he cannot change that revelation. This revelation is clearly, accurately, and that is why he will bring this to you. All these warnings coming from the threats coming from the Prophet Muhammad because he's basically communicating God's message, God's words to the humanity. ولئن مستهم نفحة من عذاب ربك ليقولون يا ويلنا إنا كنا ظالمين. Indeed, when you just a little bit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's punishment comes here or in the hereafter, little bit of punishment, sometimes when people have coronavirus, like we said, when people have earthquake, when people have anything which can harm them, they will say, oh, this is because of our wrongdoing. This is because we acted unjustly. This is because this is what we did. And then, or in the hereafter, also, for the everlasting punishment, they will say, wow, because we're wrongdoers, Allah, they know, they understood, they regret it. But at that point in the hereafter, there is no point for return. It's over. And they will regret what they were doing on this life. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.